So you want to start your own online coaching business in 2023 and you don't know where to start? In this video, I'm going to show you the 6-phase process that you need to go through from the very beginning to structuring out your program, to delivering it, to offering your program, and then eventually scaling on to 50 grand a month or more. You're going to get all of that comprehensive things right here in this video. As you guys know, I worked with Bob Proctor a couple years ago, and I was able to scale my own high-ticket coaching program from $0 to $100,000 a month in less than 60 days, scaling up to 7 figures. And so if you're watching this right now, you're probably considering getting into coaching, or you already have a coaching business and you want to scale it to 50 grand a month or more. So without further ado, this video is going to be slightly different. We're going straight into my Notion notes I've planned for you, because sometimes it's a bit difficult to try to memorize these things. So I'm going to share exactly step by step in a notepad, so you know exactly which action steps or which phase you need to either enter or move into in order to get your business to 50 grand a month or more. So without further ado, let's hop straight into it. Look at this. Got my handy dandy kombucha. Let me know if you guys like kombucha. Gotta keep that gut healthy, right? All right. So let's talk about phase one. Phase one is the fundamentals. So this video is going to be in a series of videos. I'm going to be on a playlist. I'm going to go ahead and attach the playlist right here. This playlist is not fancy. This is straight facts, straight educational. How do you get your business from 0 to 50 grand a month or more? Getting into the online coaching space, whether you're an online coach, a consultant, or an agency owner, this playlist is going to be for you. This is probably going to be one of a series of videos. So they're going to be straight educational. Phase one is this. If you're going to be getting into coaching, there's 3 necessary things that you need to get into. And if you don't have one of these, you're going to have a difficult time, whether it's imposter syndrome, scaling, or just having straight rapport with your audience. And the first thing we're going to talk about here is experience. You have to have something to teach here. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you already have something to teach, but we have to make sure it's something that people are actually willing to pay for. Now, we talk about this on the offer side. How do you position it? Because if you can at least compress time frames, every coaching business you have to have that you may have doesn't have to be a make money online, or I'm going to help you make X amount of money. It can be relationship based. It can be something like teaching somebody piano, compressing time frames for people, but you have to have experience in something. Number 2, you have to have credibility. You have to have done it yourself. So for example, if I never had done 100K months, 200K months, I could never show you how to scale, what it looks like to have a fully booked out calendar, how I've done over 4,000 high ticket sales calls. I wouldn't be able to teach that stuff to you. So therefore my credibility wouldn't be there. You got to make sure if you're getting into coaching, you have a credibility that you've already built up and that you've done it yourself. Number 3 is results that are quantifiable. It's going to be so much easier when you get into your coaching business if you have quantifiable results, whether it's money, whether it's the time, or an end result. Make sure you have some type of result that's actually real, not just saying you're happier or you have a better mindset. No, you have to have quantifiable results that you can put on a graph in a box and check it off that you have accomplished that, all right? So if you've already done this on phase 1, let's move on to phase 2. Phase number 2 is this. Framework. You got to have a framework. A framework is basically if your prospect or your dream customer is at point A and they want to get to point B, what is the step-by-step system that you need to lead them through in order to get them from point A to point B? All right. So if you're going to help them start an Amazon store, right, you probably need to get them, open up a store. You probably have to get them, barcodes and X and Y and Z, right? For example, what is that system? If you haven't yet, go ahead and get out a piece of paper and write it down right now. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to be improving this system throughout the training process. We talk about this more in the program, in the offer. It's called an MVP, a minimum viable product. So you just need to have a base layer. What's step 1, step 2? You don't need to have step 8, step 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. We don't need to do all of that right now. What is the general steps that you need to take to get somebody from point A to point B? Once you've already mapped that out, we're going to move over to phase 3. Now, this one is really important. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you probably already passed phase 1 and phase 2, and you're probably over here on phase 3. If you're struggling under $30,000 a month, then it probably has to do with your offer or your offer messaging. Now, these are 2 different things. I highly recommend you look at the book $100 million offers and $100 million leads by Alex Hormozi, where he teaches you how to actually build out a $100 million offer or an irresistible offer. You probably heard that you want to have an offer so good that people feel stupid to say no to it. It doesn't even have to be that well of an offer. As far as your messaging, it comes down to being able to communicate to your prospect what's actually going on. So in order to have an offer that's worth scaling to 50 grand a month or more, you must first identify the problems of your customer. So many people overlook this. All business is solving a problem. And the better you are at solving that problem, and the bigger the problem is for that person, the more money you're going to make. And a lot of coaches, they have mistakes because they're not in the head of their dream customer. You have to get into the head of the dream customer. What's keeping them up at night? Get out a piece of paper. Stop being lazy. Get in there. It took me days to get in here and research, because I was my dream customer. When I was starting my coaching business, I didn't know how to get leads. I didn't know how to get leads consistently. I didn't know how to do a sales call. I didn't know how to build a funnel. I didn't know how to do any of these things. I was my dream customer. I had mindset problems when I was working with Bob that kept me broke for years. So when I went from 0 to 100 grand a month, I just attracted so many clients because I understood my prospect to the deep, deep layers. And you need to do that in your own coaching business. You have to truly understand their problems. When people trust that you understand their problems, they're therefore going to trust that you can fix it. This is a really cool psychological trick. If you can really, and this is where like the irresistible offer is great. If you can build that out, great. But this is even more important. If you can truly understand your prospects' problems and the issues that they're having, they will naturally trust that you can help them get out of that situation. It's a really cool thing that you're going to use to your advantage. And then the second part here is messaging. You have to be able to communicate your offer. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. This takes time. Number one, this takes time. And number two, it's okay to change it and iterate it and improve it. I've had to change my messaging a few times, plenty of times, probably close to 30 to 50 times in my first business. I did 7 figures to try to get to understand my prospect and understand where we're at in the process of where they want to go. So where they're at, where they want to go, and finding out those perfect word sequences that allow them to feel comfortable to work with me. And then the next part here is key to great offer is being really good at solving the problem. Okay, if you don't have the most experience, somebody will hire you if you know 2 things. Number one, you're a few steps ahead of them, right? You don't need to be an expert making 6 figures a month or an expert or whatever it is that you do. You just need to be a couple steps ahead of the prospects that you're trying to roll. Number 2 is fully understanding that person. All right. Now, if you've done this correctly, then we move over to phase 4. Which is lead generation, which is probably one of the biggest issues that most people have, that most online coaches, agency owners, or people that have online coaching programs is lead generation. So I use something called the social funnel system. This is what allowed me to fully book out my calendar and go from 0 to 100K. Well, really, it was like 100K in 14 days. I don't that's a weird number. I did 100K in 14 days, so I just say for the month. But I use the social funnel system. And in the next video, make sure you subscribe below. I'm actually recording it right after this video, as I'm going to be teaching you guys how to actually structure out and what is the social funnel system and how you can scale your business to 50 grand a month or more using this particular system. So basically, what the social funnel system is using Instagram and YouTube together, right? So we all know that it's very difficult for people to convert on a 30-second Instagram short. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be attracting our dream customers over to our Instagram, and we're going to start to build a community of our ideal customers on our Instagram, right? We could be running ads. You could be working with affiliates, but in this particular case, I did it with affiliates, but moving forward, we're going to be doing ads. I'll be teaching ads, how to do it with ads, but it's all the same, no matter where you get your traffic from. You're going to funnel all of those people over to your Instagram, and you're going to start having some systems and processes that start to funnel those people that are on your Instagram and following you. Then they're going to go over to your YouTube channel, and they're going to start watching your YouTube videos and start to build a relationship with them. And there's something called the 7-hour rule. You need your prospects to watch at least 7 hours of your content before they feel comfortable to book a call with you and purchase your program. They need 7 hours, whether that's 7 hours of watching reels or it's a couple YouTube videos that you posted. Obviously, the latter is a lot easier to do. And this is what I teach in my system here. Getting people over to your long form content is so key because it allows them to understand your teaching style, your credibility, actually that people can get real results and improve their life and real knowledge in a YouTube video versus a 30-second reel. When was the last time a 30-second reel changed your life and changed your business? It hasn't. But what we can do is utilize that tool to attract people to our community and then funnel them over to a long form content so we can actually sit down with them and truly watch it. For example, you watching this video right now is a perfect example of you being inside of my social funnel. So we want lead generation methods that are not only scalable, but they're also consistent, right? For example, you can work with affiliates and scale to 100 grand, 200 grand a month like I was doing, right? But it was inconsistent because if an affiliate didn't want to work with me anymore, or they wanted to work with another coach, my income would drop and it would go up and down, up and down. And that was my biggest issue in my last business. So we don't want it to also be scalable because I went from 0 to 200K in like 90 days to 4 months. We also want it to be consistent. I believe the best way to build consistency is with running paid ads, but then also nurturing those people with a YouTube channel, right? And we attract our ideal clients to our Instagram, and then we nurture them with long form content, all right? And you guys might be thinking like, DeAndre, you only have 3,000 subscribers or followers on Instagram. And that's because my Instagram was actually hacked, all right? But that's on another story. Maybe I'll make another video about that. But I had almost 110,000 followers on my last Instagram, okay? And then I already explained the social funnel. So like I mentioned, go ahead and subscribe below because in the very next video, I actually have a diagram where I'm going to be sharing step-by-step process of the social funnel system and how you can implement this into your coaching business to scale it to 50 grand a month, all right? Now, let's go ahead and let's move on to phase 5, which is scalable delivery. We have to make sure that whatever service that we're going to provide, that we can actually scale to 50 grand a month and more, preferably up to 100 grand a month. So done for you services, out the door. One-on-one services, out the door. None of that stuff. So, and no courses either. Courses are not what we're going to be doing. Courses are borderline a scam in a way. You're just selling information, but there's no value there. No courses, no done for you services, no one-on-one. And quite frankly, courses do not get people results. What are courses? It's a done with you service where people are watching a series of videos, then they go and try to implement it themselves. That's not getting people results. You as a coach, it's easier for you because you could just sit there, record it, and sell it and give it to the prospect, but they're not going to get results. The people that I'm attracting to my community, they really care about having a craft product that actually gets people results. We talked about this in my 17 core values, that craftsmanship is key. The people that want to build these programs, they're not here just to get rich. They want to get rich, but they want to build a product that they're proud of that actually gets people results. So in order to do that, we can't go to courses. We need it, and we're not going to go to one-on-one coaching. So you might be saying, DeAndre, what are we going to do? We're going to do this hybrid system, and I call it a mastermind. Now, I didn't coin this word. I got it from my mentor, Bob Proctor, the idea of a mastermind, but the actual business model itself is from my mentor, Sam Ovens, who helped me scale my first business. So notes just tripping here. One-on-one coaching. Done for you services are not scalable. We're going to do something called the hybrid model, okay, which is a mastermind. So here's what the mastermind is. I'm actually going to be making a whole video on this subject, okay? So a mastermind is cool things, right? It's group coaching, it's online courses, and it's online courses, group coaching, and mentorship all bundled into one, and community all bundled into one, okay? So I want you to think about a mastermind as this. Think of a train, right? So there's two parts of a train. There's the rails that's guiding the train, and there's the train car itself where all the people are. So in a mastermind group, the rails is the courses and the goals of the group. For example, people that join my mastermind, they are on a mission to move towards scaling their coaching business, starting it up, scaling it, running Instagram ads and a YouTube channel, scaling it to 50 grand a month or more. So that's the goal in which I'm moving the group. But then you have the train car, right, where all the people are. And that's the community aspect. That's where people get to dial in and hang out with each other and bounce ideas off each other so that they're not always relying on you as a coach, but they rely on the community. And so when you build a community, there's more value in people wanting to be part of that rather than just being of a course. If you've ever been in coaching before, or you're a coach now, or you've joined a coaching program, there's no incentive for your prospect to continue paying you after your period. So let's just say it's a 6-month coaching program. After the 6 months, you're not getting paid again. One of the biggest mistakes I ever made in my first coaching business was I gave lifetime access. I gave lifetime access to a program that's supposed to be 6 months. So I was still coaching people 2 years in, and I wasn't getting paid for it. And it starts to, and I had over 300 clients. So it starts to, wear on you because you're doing all this work and not getting paid. They saw value in my community, but I didn't put a premium price tag on it. So in this mastermind group, you're going to put a yearly fee on your coaching program so people actually attend your groups because there's more value for them to show up and get in the community. But we'll talk more about that later. And then you'll be building your course modules as you're actually teaching your classes. And this is where your community starts to grow. The people that are wanting to build masterminds, right? This hybrid coaching program where you do one Zoom call a week, and then there's courses that the people watch, and then they come back and you meet with them once a week as you're guiding them through the goal. They rely more on the community aspect of the mastermind group. But the cool thing is you can eventually turn that into either a digital group or eventually a physical group, which is where you start to do live events, live retreats. And this is the cool part that I was able actually to do. And then we go over to phase 6, which is scaling with systems. So what does this look like? Whether you're starting off in coaching right now or you want to get to the 100K a month marker or more, there needs to be systems, operations, and processes that you have in order to grow. And if not, it would be impossible. I want to show this to you. When I was starting off with Coach Proctor, Bob Proctor, I was able to scale my business because I had certain processes that allowed me to do that. So I want to show you what my calendar looked like right here. You see this right here? This was my calendar that was completely booked out. That's one day, right? And that's the second day. I was doing 8 to 10 appointments a day, but I had processes that allowed me to scale to that point. So I was doing 10, 20, 30K cash collect days, right? That's because I had funnels, I had DM scripts, I had phone scripts for high ticket sales. I all that kind of stuff. Eventually, how do you hire setters? How do you hire closers? And then training and onboarding your team. That was something that was really difficult. We're not stupid here, guys. We see all the ads from like these guys that are doing high ticket closing or they're trying to apply to be a high ticket closer. They're everywhere. But the question is, how do you find somebody that's good? And then how do you train that person to get to your level of closing? Because nobody sells your product better than you are. Because I've hired plenty of closers that were trained by these experts that were not even that good, right? They were book smart, but they had no experience. So how do you actually do that? And then finally, managing daily operations. Guys, when you're running a business that's doing 10K, 20K, 30K a day, there's a lot of things from running the ads and doing the social media content and the content strategy and sales calls and fulfillments and systems breakdown. And it gets crazy. So you have to be able to have some daily operations that you know exactly what are the 3, 4, 5 things that you need to do in order to grow the business on a daily basis. And then what's the 1 or 2 things that you need to accomplish for that day in order to grow your business day by day. So guys, if you follow this system, you'll be able to grow to the next level, taking you from just starting out to going to 100 grand a month or more. So guys, if you're an online coach, consultant, agency owner, or do have some type of done for you service, and you want to learn how to scale your business to 50 grand a month or more, go ahead and send me a DM on Instagram, okay? And I'll be showing, and we can brainstorm a game plan. We got to see like where you're at, what's your biggest struggle. We got to find out what are the key things that you need to improve. Is it your offer? Is it your messaging? Is it your program delivery? Is it your lead generation? Is it scaling? Is it fulfillment? All of these things I've had experience that allowed me to earn over 7 figures in my own coaching business. And we can look about what's the exact thing that you need. And then we can see if it's a good fit for you to work with me and apply to be part of my high ticket hero team. So go ahead and send me a DM on Instagram. You can actually find a link right below. And it'll take you straight to my DMs. But without further ado, guys, make sure you subscribe. The very next video I'm making right now is how to actually use this social funnel system. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.